Welcome, welcome from afar and wide. This is going to be the Saturday Night Circus. It's going to be the Pit Lizard 100 from Southern National. So as we get ready here for a race, looks like it's going to be possibly an LCQ leading up into a main event. We may be just jumping straight into the race here tonight. Looks like it's going to be pretty much at daytime here, and maybe possibly going into the night. So, my name is Superman. I am joined in the booth tonight by Big D. The race is being brought to you by the chassis tuna himself, Jeff Edgar, and broadcasted live by Genghis Khan. And also, admitting the operation will be Blake, the one race wonder win. So that's our team for tonight. And looks like we're going to be able to bring you a pretty fiery broadcast. What do you say, Marty?
Well, Turpin, we should be in for a treat tonight. The Southern National Motorsports Park, like a smaller version of Bristol Motor Speedway, pretty much. It's going to be crazy. Only one groove that's going to really matter. It's going to be the low line. I think we're in for a treat tonight, Luke.
Yeah, I don't think you're lying about that. I think there's going to be a lot of bump and run, moving people out of the way, making your way to the front, and I think you got to be at the front late. And speaking of late, what I'd like to take a little bit of time here to talk about is possibly what I usually like to get involved with at the end of the race. Hopefully, if I get interviewed, I'm typically a driver. I like to throw a nice little shout out to possibly my team owner or some teammates. But for tonight, I'd like to throw a shout out to all the lovely women out there. I mean, this is the Lot Lizard 100. So to all the moms and sisters out there watching, you can reach me at superman@gmail.com. And yeah, so, looking forward to hearing from everybody tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy one indeed. We would like to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors for tonight, that being Tri-E Inc., Sullivan Motorsports, John Friley Motorsports, and Marty, aka yours truly, sponsoring a part of the purse for tonight. About $90 we have in the purse, paying out to what we're expected to be is the top 10. And like Turpin said earlier, we'd like to give a big shout out to Jeff Edgar for putting this on. Blake Wynn, our race director for tonight, and Alex Gangler, our director for tonight, producing tonight's broadcast. Let's go through how the session's been going. We had a 1-hour practice session earlier tonight. Fastest driver in that was Chase Johnson with a 15.24. Right now, qualifying just taking place, about 7 minutes to go in that, and currently it's still Chase Johnson with a 15.249. Looking at this right now, about probably 20 drivers have qualified as we speak, so all of them should look like they'll make the feature. If we do have more than 30 drivers qualifying, we will take the top 30. They will go straight to the feature, and then drivers, the rest of the field will do a 40-lap LCQ, where we'll take 10 drivers for what would be a 40-car maximum feature. Let's look at the race analysis for tonight. 100 laps around the 0.4 miles short track, 18% fuel limit, unlimited tire sets in the race, and Luke, I know you were practicing in the set-in earlier tonight, and I think you gained like about what, like an 18-second lap, or excuse me, 15, somewhere in that 15-second range too?
Yeah, so I think fast speed tonight's going to be in the low 15.2s. I mean, I don't know if they're going to crack into the ones. It's going to be a daytime race. The temperatures are up a little bit. The track is a little hot. It's going to be tough for these guys to crack down into the ones. If they do get into the ones, though, they're probably going to be looking to run away with this one. And speaking of running away with this one, think about all the big names that aren't here tonight. Chase Johnson has got to be licking his chops. And wait till you hear the nickname I've got for good old Chase. So anyway, speaking of people that aren't here tonight, we don't have Petey, the Flying Jay Zeller. He's missing in action. We've got Jordan, 7-time Silvers Babinger. He's not here tonight. And we're also missing Tyler McCrybaby McCray. Where are these people? And specifically, the guy that's been on fire recently, Octavio, the Argentine assassin Octavio. Where are these guys? I mean, they're just not here tonight. Our normal crowd of Kenny the Helmet Trip, and a couple other guys here just not showing up to the event. So Chase, Shane, John, they gotta be thinking they got a real shot at the gold here tonight. What do you think, Marty?
Absolutely. I think the main guys you got to watch out for indeed are Jonathan Schwartz and Chase Johnson. We're talking about JB Smooth in the 01, comes in as the XCal points leader. Won at Phoenix 2 weeks ago for the XCal Street Stock League. It was the first win for his team, Big Block Motorsports, in years. And then you got Chase Johnson. Man, what a story he has had. In one of the preseason events we had at North Wilkesboro, he kept wrecking every heat and got DQ'd from the last one because of all the wrecks he was causing. So he wanted to focus on street stocks, focused on winning, made his way up into XCal, had second start at USA, got his first ever win, and is up there in points. We've got a fantastic field on deck though, Luke, despite the fact of some of these major names that, like you said, are MIA.
Yeah, and I'd like to take a second to talk about how we're gonna broadcast this event tonight. With some big names missing, these guys are really gonna be in the limelight tonight. Brought to you on the Gangle Cast, specifically run by Genghis Khan over there. He's come a long way in a short period of time, Marty. I think he's first started off in the jungle, and now he's gonna maybe bring the rumble. Who knows? So, Big D, let's talk teams. Let's talk teams for a second here.
Yeah, let's talk teams indeed, Superman.
So, what I'm seeing here is there's a lot of big teams that are working together on a weekly basis to get these setups together. I mean, we got Dropping Dollar Bills Racing, also known as DVR, and I think we got a couple maybe DVR guys in here tonight. Let me have a look. Yeah, we got Heather Patrick. He's in the race tonight. So, look for them. They come on strong late in races. And then another team, a group of guys that work together are the Mainly Assholes Racing. They're just a tough group of guys that just come in and race hard. Looks like we got Tyler the Weapon Jalbert in here tonight. So look for them. Twisted T Chassis. You never know when you're going to get whacked by a Twisted T Chassis guy. And with hey, you name it, the guy that's running the event, Jeff Egger, the chassis tuna himself. And that's tuna with a Tuna, because nobody likes that tuna around here. So watch out for him. And then, D4, the new D4 team. Dangerously Daydreaming Dipshit Duo. It's exactly what it says there. So I'd like to kind of think of these guys as like, your modern day Hendrick, JGR, Stuart Haas, and Ganassi. Dropping Dollar Bills Racing. Let's talk about it. They got all the money. They got big setups, big rigs, lots of practice, testing in private, all that kind of stuff. They come up to the race well prepared. But damn, do they spend some money. Now, the Mainly Assholes guys, let's talk about them. They're a lot like Stuart Haas. They're like outlaws. They just come to the race, rough some guys up, maybe pick up a winner here or there. They're like your Stuart Haas. Now, Twisted T, now those guys are like your Joe Gibbs, bunch of whiny guys. They got the Toyota syndrome. They're whining all the time, blah, blah, blah. That's those guys. And then D4, Ganassi, you never know when one of these guys is going to say something stupid and get kicked from the team and fired. So, Marty, what do you think?
Yeah, you just brought it up with teams, which I want to go back to Twisted Chassis because the other team you have to watch out for, Big Block Motorsports. Them and Twisted Chassis usually work together on a weekend. I know with my team, I'm on my own team, Team RSN. I work with those teams every weekend in practice, working on setups together and figuring out the driving line indeed. JB Swartz, Jeff, Big John, they always have something working together. They're usually up there when it comes to the speeds and times in practice. I know they were up there when we were racing at Rockingham. They were up there at Phoenix. Pretty sure they were up there as well when we were at Charlotte. So that team as well should be a team you should watch out for as well. as it looks like we have got qualifying officially wrapped up, and this is going to be awkward to say, but I think we are going right into an LCQ. But the issue, I think, is with this LCQ that none of the drivers that did not attempt, we're hearing from race control that the 8 drivers that are in the LCQ never even took time for qualifying. Only one of them took time for practice, Luke. We're going to be in here for a while, probably. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be possibly following the helmet around for, what are we looking at, 40 laps here? What a disaster this is going to be.
Well, Kenny Trupp, you got to get some free qualifying time in that Lucas Oil Chevy machine.
Yeah, so let's talk about Kenny here. We're going to have plenty of time to talk about him, but why don't we start now? The helmet himself. Boy, he's had a rough start to the season, Marty. I don't know what to say about Kenny. Kenny's really, I have to say it, let me down. I expected him to probably have a win by now, probably be in the top 5 in points, and he's been a victim of circumstances up until this race tonight. But remember, this race is an exhibition. This race is not for points. You don't lose a bunch of money if you pile your shit up. He's gonna be racing hard, and that's when Kenny is at his best. So what I'm thinking here is, after a tough weekend at Phoenix recently here, where he just got absolutely cleaned out by Pud. And Pud, why don't we take a couple minutes here to talk about Pud?
Talk about him.
Pud, you know, he leaves a lot to be desired as well. He's like the guy that starts off the race. If it was 2-lap shootouts for the whole race, that's my guy, man. I'm putting money on him. But they're not. They're 300-lap races, and 23 laps into these things, he's running like it's the last lap of the race. And, you know, he causes his own problems, and unfortunately, Kenny is a victim of that. As Kenny gets his tires warmed up here for this.
Kenny's going to do like a 40-lap qualifying run. He's just
Kenny is going to, I guess, make the most of his current situation here. So
I don't blame him.
Warming his tires up like he's about to lay down the blistering lap of the night. So as he swerves left to right, let's really hope and pray he doesn't pile this thing up, because I do not want to sit and watch him get that thing fixed.
Kenny, if you're watching this, don't screw this up for us. I do not want to be waiting 55 minutes if you wreck.
That's a good point, Big D. So
green flags in the air and Tripp's racing, but let's just keep talking as the camera bulbs ignite.
Yeah, so he's putting on a show for us. He's
going Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, he's giving it a bit of handle, as I would say. He's got the right foot in it and not a lot of left foot, so that's good to see. Kenny drives like that though, man. This might be just Kenny, you know. So it's great to see him out there. It's great to see that he made this race. He's one of our mainly assholes. So glad to see he's here. And it looks like we might be moving on quite quickly here.
Yes, race control confirms they are advancing to the next session. And you know, while we were watching Kenny drive there, Turpin, that's something we should talk about, the turns at SNMP, because you have to execute them well or else you are going around. You touch that apron on the bottom, you're going around on the bottom, and it could cause a huge mess up. If you gas it too much on the exit, you're spinning all the way down that banking and going for what could be as well a wild ride indeed. If you overcorrect that car a little bit too much, we could possibly be seeing the big one break out.
Oh, and I wouldn't doubt it. The big one is likely to happen, especially with these guys knowing that they can pile them up as much as they want. And we're going to talk about them too as they're piling them up. So it looks like maybe we aren't moving on. We're just going to hang here and watch Kenny ride. You know, I don't know what to say other than I think we're just along for the ride here. Why don't we ride along with Kenny? Let's get on board with Kenny here. And
that's a good idea.
see how he's driving this thing. So I'm going to give you a little, and personally myself, I'm more of a steering wheel holder than a microphone holder, so I can probably give you a little better analysis of how Kenny's driving's going here as soon as I get him pulled up.
Yeah, you're the better driver here in this commentary booth than I am.
Well, I don't know about that, Big D, but let's have a look here and see what Kenny's got going on from the cockpit. His favorite place. All right, so Kenny looks like he's turning about 6,500 RPMs down the straightaway here. That may be a little highly geared, for the race, but probably gets that good one lap speed that you're looking for as he goes through 1 and 2 here. He really gets it low, gets down on that apron. You almost just want to tag that little bit of flat land right below. It really kind of helps the car rotate because that is the tighter of the two corners. So as he comes back to 1 and 2 here, he's going to come onto the back straightaway, really get the gas down hard, pulls it up to about 6,600 RPMs. That's going to be a racy car, especially in the early parts of the race when you can really abuse those tires. But as you're starting to see, he's starting to slip the tires a little bit, starting to put more wheel into it. And as we pull up on 3 and 4 here, he's able to get to the bottom, which is good. That's really what you need here. It's got, like you mentioned earlier, Big D, it's going to be a case of staying on the bottom, not making a mistake, and if the big one happens, you just got to skirt your way through.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, like you said, he's just got to hit his marks and definitely rocking it on the RPMs. So when it comes to making a setup, obviously, Turpin, this is an open setup race. What's the big thing? Because you know setups better than I do. What's the big thing that will stand out when it comes to setup? What do you want to have a good part of on that setup that could help you win the race?
Well, if you're looking to win the race, I would say that you probably just need to have a setup that attacks one thing and one thing only really, really well. So you kind of got to stick to your guns. If you're going to make a fuel mileage setup, you can't decide halfway through the race that you're going to start dogfighting with people. If you're going to make a long run setup, you can't burn them off in the first 10 laps of the run. Now, if you do have a fast car and you really got that 1 lap speed like Kenny might have here tonight, you got to eat them up early. You got to take as much as you can get, because once you've done taking it, it's not coming back any other way. So you got to get it early and then hope you can do a little bit of blocking. And Kenny knows his blocking now. I've raced with Kenny many a times, and he blocks very professionally and knows how to do it correctly and not get both parties in trouble, unlike his teammate. So he does a good job with that, and I think that's what he's gonna play to his strengths. And if Kenny's gonna win this race tonight, he's gonna drive through some people early and hold them off late. That's gonna be the Kenny trip, the helmet's way to get to victory lane.
I'm looking at some of these other drivers as well that are specifically not from XCal. Probably the main driver, that we should watch out for. And if you want to give him a shout out right now, go for it. Shane Briggs in the 999 machine. 15.3 in qualifying. Could be the biggest competitor to Chase Johnson or any XCal driver so far. Comes in with an over 2,000 iRating, and it has 24 career official iRacing wins.
Yeah, Shane's going to be one to watch out for here. Shane, the bully Briggs. I mean, he's coming in. He's basically knocked off John JB Smooth Schwartz and knocked off Jeff the Chassis Tuna Edgar. Slotted in the second here, coming to the green flag when we eventually get there after we get done watching Kenny, piss and moan around the track here. But anyway, so as we get closer to this race, I think Shane is going to have a chance to run with Chase. I would just be concerned with JB Smooth and the Chassis Tuna coming on late. And if he doesn't get around Chase early, he's going to be getting fire from behind.
Yeah, we just have to wait only 15 laps when they come to the line before we begin the 100-lap feature. While we wait, let's take this opportunity to welcome our 6 viewers watching on the Gamecast, also known as Dcash Gaming. Blake Wynn, I believe, is watching, says he is here. Oh, Turpin, Blake says, what about Gas and Go?
Gas and Go. Who are they?
I don't know. That's what Blake's asking. But Gangler says on that, not racing.
Oh, that's the guy. That was the one race wonder. Blake Wynn. He drives for Gas and Go. All right, so let me give you a little backstory on Blake Wynn here. I call him the one race wonder because he came out of the box at Charlotte and he was screaming. I mean, he was running first, second, a lot of the race. And then he piled it up. And then I haven't seen him since. I think he's been in the races, but I'm not sure. So, Big D, you had any run-ins with old one race wonder there recently?
I have not had any run-ins with Mr. Wynn himself. I haven't actually done any XCal races. I think my last one was Rockingham a few weeks back. But I have done some. I have done some of the heats.
Rockingham. Rockingham. Let's talk about Rockingham now. That's where you got your nickname, the Big D.
Actually, I had that nickname before the Rock.
No. The Big D is often confused. It's very easy to assume what we're talking about with the Big D, but he's real. I'll give you the rest of the word. It's the big delusion. This guy, I mean, he's like the guy that tells you 6 inches, but it's really kind of 3. That kind of thing. It's the delusion. He gives you. He makes you think he's on the lead lap and he's gonna dive it in hard on you, and then just a big delusion. And then you get all. And what happens is this probably happens to the ladies that are. And I want to do no shout out to the ladies out there tonight. I know we got 6 viewers watching. Any ladies, superman@gmail.com. But anyway, so speaking about delusions here, he gets you hypnotized almost. It probably happens to the ladies. Probably happened to the Man of Steel on the back straight at Rockingham, and unfortunately, the delusion got the worst end of that straw. But there was no intent by it. It was just a case of hypnotism.
Yeah. Oh well. Hey. On the bright side, it was just some hard racing, maybe a little bit too much hard racing. Still able to rebound from the top 10 after that. But that was, I will admit though, Rockingham was a lot of fun to drive. Guess you would say that too. You almost came close to winning that race as well.
Yeah, I would say I had a great race and a terrible car. So it's weird how those things work out. So tonight here, is that gonna be a case of does I don't want to let it out of the bag yet, so I'm gonna call him Chase Johnson for right now. We'll call him Chase Johnson.
Oh, Kenny!
It's coming though, but hey, Chase Johnson and Shane the Bully Briggs, are they gonna have the car that's fast in the race that doesn't work out for them, or are we gonna see maybe, let's say Matt the Sheep Owner Bear, is he gonna bring a car that's currently sitting, mid-teens, and is he gonna win this thing? It can go both ways. That's how these races go. Kenny's going to have an amazing advantage tonight after turning 40 blinders here. Pretty much made everybody blind because they're sick of watching it. But anyway, as he barely is going to limp it across the line here, it looks like we'll call that a victory, I guess.
We'll call that the burnout for now. And now we can go straight to the feature for 100 laps around Southern National Motorsports Park. Turpin, give us the starting lineup.
All right, the starting lineup is Chase Potty Johnson starting on the pole, followed by Shane the Bully Briggs. Going to be in third place is John JB Smooth Sports. Fourth will be Jeff the Chassis Tuna Edgar. Fifth will be John Old Reliable Friley. Sixth is going to be Tyler the Weapon Jalbert. Seventh's going to be Mickey the Window Licker Cudlicky. Eighth is Nick Mumbles Mumley. And ninth is going to be Charles Crash Copage. 10th is going to be Jeremy Clueless Leto. 11th is going to be Art the Painter Hendren. 12th is going to be Ed the Barista Burrell. 13th is going to be Heather, not Danica Patrick. 14th is going to be Matt, the sheep boner bear. 15th is going to be John Badass Procaccio. 16th is going to be Nick No Name Reynolds. 16th, 17th looks like Todd Shaw if he's in the race. And I think that's it. Let's see who else we got here. We got anybody else after them? Oh, we got Justin Terpstra. Not to be confused with Turpin. He's at the back of the field, not the front. So don't forget. Don't misinterpret that guy's name.
22 drivers, though, will be taking the green flag. Lights are off the pace car. 1 lap to go. We're glad you could join us for this one at Southern National Motorsports Park. And on the front row, we got Chase Johnson, the rookie Xcal Phenom, and next to him is Shane Briggs. Race fans, strap in and hold on to your seats. It's time to turn them loose and drop the hammer, because it's showtime at Southern National.
Here we go, going into turn 1. Chase is just pulling away here. The bullies really got nothing for him here on lap 1. Let's take a look back behind.
3 wide.
Yeah, 3 wide back there. JB Smooth's kind of hunting here. Yeah,
good race so far.
Yeah, they're getting fouled out.
Oh, we got trouble back straight away. 1 car around, and that's 2 of them. John Brancaccio and the 67 of Jake White-Rowell. No caution flag is out yet. Johnny B gets it towed back. Now they throw the yellow out.
Oh, that's a big disappointment for Johnny Badass Procaccio. Let's take a look back here and see what happened to Johnny B.
You know, I think this all started here, Luke. If I take a look at this a little bit closely, I think Johnny B just got a little bit too loose off of turn 2, and yeah, he just overcorrected it, and Justin Terpstra just turned into him, and then that 67 had nowhere to go, and Johnny B does a wheelie and then goes on his side.
Oh, man, that's a big disappointment. Pretty badass wheelie there, but he's on his side and looks like his night maybe a pretty big uphill battle. Let's talk about Johnny B here a little bit. The guy, man, he's got so much potential. He knows how to run the long race. He just finds himself in bad predicaments, difficult situations. I don't want to say anything bad about the way he's kind of driving in those situations, but he needs to find a way to stay out of them. Lap 2 is not the place to be getting in a pile up, if you know what I'm saying. Johnny's really got to keep a cool head now. He's gonna be 2, 3, 4 laps down or more. He's good at staying on the track though, so if he gets that thing fixed up, Big D, I think he'll have a chance of getting a decent finish out of tonight.
Yeah, it looks like that 062's tow time has finished up. As for Jake White-Rowell, looks like just a little bit of front-end damage. Probably will slow down the car in terms of aerodynamics, but shouldn't affect him too much. So we're hearing from race control, no penalty is going to be given. For those wondering, the rules are going by XCal rules, and every caution does get reviewed. If there is a fault on someone, then a black flag penalty will be given out, usually just a stop and go. You get 2 strikes and you are out, but race control is calling it a racing deal. So we're double fouled up, rack them and stack them for the first time. Chase Johnson will bring them back to the green flag, and the 999 will restart in second of Shane Briggs. And here we go once again, and Chase Johnson is out of there. Tried to get out of there like a bat out of hell, but he could not. And then 999 trying to look on the outside for the lead. JB Swartz looks for second spot here, Turpin.
Yeah, as they come down into 3, the bully is about to try to move. The potty train man out of the way. Oh, where has the potty man gone? Oh, there he's back. Okay, all right. So the bully really putting the front end to Chase there. It looks like they're getting single file behind. Looks like we got a 2-car battle for about 7th or 8th. Is that Danica? No, that's Heather Patrick back there. He's taking a look. Pretty single file here, Big D. Maybe Jeremy Clueless Leto. Does he know that he could get single file here? I think he's gonna Maybe try the Highline in the marbles. He's clueless.
Yeah, Jeremy Lutto in the back of the pack of the number 17, usually driving for RS Racing. Has lost a lot of time, or LS Racing, whatever you want to call it. Now, I think this is going to be starting to be the time here, Turpin. Like you said, a lot of single file racing, and this is where we could see, because, obviously we're early on in the race, a lot of drivers just being patient, being conservative. They don't want to get too aggressive on their adversaries early on.
Yeah, I think one guy to watch here is going to be JB Smooth. His name says it all. As the Flying J would say, he's just in the right places at the right times. Now, he's had a tough couple races here off of a win at Phoenix. Now he's looking to possibly hold off a hard-charging run here from the weapon. So let's see if he's able to hold the weapon off. If I know the weapon, jackass, he'll, just as I said it, fired up the inside on, what are we on there, lap 16. Jalbert, I like the guy. He's a great guy. But what he doesn't understand is we're running a 100-lap race. The very common demo derby that starts at the end of the race, for him, typically starts at the beginning of the race. So if we run a 100-lap race, once this one's done, Jalbert's my pick, because he's already done wrecked everybody out.
I'll give creds to Tyler Jalbert. Him and I were running Heat 1 at Bristol. We had a lot of good hard racing the entire day. Coming to the white flag, we made a bunch of passes from a wreck that happened. He just got into my rear end, but that's just a racing deal there, Rebens Racing. And Jalbert was able to make a really nice, was able to transfer. I did beat him, though. Do you want to just give a quick shout out there? But I respect him. Jalbert's a good racer. JB Smooth, gave the position to Jalbert. He knows it's early on in the race. Just keep trying to pressure Jalbert and hope that 04 makes a mistake or gets too aggressive going into one of these turns.
All right, so we're sitting here pretty status quo. Let's jump on board here with Matt, the sheep boner bear, as he's looking to hunt down, looks like Art here, the painter.
Yep, that's our Hendren.
Yep, he's following Art. He's looking like he wants to make a move here, but he's just not got the speed right now. He looks like he's pushing high.
Oh, Hendren, save it, baby.
Yeah, the painter gets loose there, but he holds on to it. So that moves Sheep Boner up one position. Looks like he's going to be able to make some moves then possibly tonight, maybe at other people's expenses. So he's had a tough weekend. He's not had his crew chief in the booth with him. He's been doing well. He had a really tough start to the season. He couldn't get out of his own way, basically. And when you're the sheep owner and your teammate's the goat, it's tough. It's a tough situation, but he's got it together. He's coming off the third place at Bristol. He's hopefully looking to hunt down Danica here and make a move, but the sheep owner's just not making much progress right now. Maybe he's got that Superman special fuel line in. Maybe he's going to go along on a fuel run here. We'll just have to wait and see, Big D.
Kenny Tripp just making a move there on Nick Mumley. That's for position number 7. They did make some contact about 2 laps ago, but Tripp was able to advance as we are officially 25% complete on the race. Let's take a look as we're already approaching some lap traffic. Chase Johnson, the race leader. First driver he's catching up to is Justin Terpstra. Now, based on XCal rules, you can fight the leaders if you're a lap down, but if you're 2 laps down or more, you have to let the leaders go by. As you can see, though, Terpstra is going to be a gentleman and let the top 2 battle it out. Now, how big could lap traffic be a factor here?
Oh, lap traffic is going to be huge. And let's talk about Chase Potty Train Johnson. So, as he comes into this race with fast time in practice, with qualifying on the pole, he is on fire. He has already won a race this season, but as we all know, he is potty trained. And when he showed up to North Wilkes-Barre, he shit the bed. 3 heat races in a row. He absolutely cleaned out the field probably in the first 5 laps. So, as Clueless here is clueless. So, anyway, as we move back to the front here, potty trained is putting it to him right now, but the bully's hanging in there. So, and not too far behind. Is that the weapon I see?
Yes, that's Jalbert in third, and JB Swartz still in that battle for third position on track, closing in on the top two because of the lap traffic really affecting them. That's in front of the race leader, Chase Johnson. Todd Shaw in the 82, currently in 14th position. We'll keep an eye on that as well. A lot of battles, though, all over the racetrack, as you see Johnson trying to make that move on Shaw. Shaw is just going to try and keep racing him until Johnson goes by.
I'm going to jump in here, Big D.
Go ahead.
Because the chassis tuna and the helmet are going at it tooth and nail. They are pretty much banging doors every lap. It looks like the helmet might get the best of him here. He does. So the chassis tuna, the guy that's in here working hours upon hours, oh, he's coming back at him. See, that's that chassis. That's that chassis working.
Edgar tried to counter. Tripp just went a little bit too wide there on the exit at the stripe there. Just dead even there. You can give it to Edgar by about even at the stripe. Heard some damage off of turn two. I think they just touched. But this is 3 to 4 cars. Put him under a blanket. Battling for position number 7. You got Tripp there in 7th. You got Mumley in 8th. And then you got Mickey Kalicki in the 9th position. Oh, Tripp just got turned. Tripp tried to save it. Kenny barely. You've got the 18 of Mumley in the wall as well. It's staying green. Looks like another car involved with Sean Patrick. They keep him straight. They keep him lean, mean, and green.
There you go. Look at that. Mumbles got up in there, and he got all up in the back of Kenny. He had every piece of his rear end that he ever wanted, and he got him all kinds of out of shape. So Mumbles trying to make a move. Looks like he's going to be mired back a couple positions, back behind Danica there. Mumbles, let's talk about Mumbles, man. He mic'd up in the practice, in the qualifying, and not one person had a single clue what the hell he was saying. So, long story short, Mumbles is out there turning some laps, currently running in 10th, chasing down Danica, already got in a battle here with the helmet. Who knows what's to come for Mumbles?
We got to go look at the battle for second because Shane Briggs has actually lost some time to your leader, Johnson. Here comes Tyler Jalbert, easily getting by Art Henry without a problem. JB Smooth trying to pounce in this battle for second spot. Smooth, though, with a lower entry than you would usually expect here at SNMP. But here comes Jalbert. He's trying to make a run on Briggs. Takes a look to the bottom for the second spot. Up to the quarter panel as Briggs moves on up. Jalbert into the runner-up spot.
Look at that, jackass up to second, making his way to the front. I think he's getting ready to start the demo derby here pretty soon. But hey,
oh, Briggs got loose, and hang on, Schwartz. Great save by those guys. Yeah, I think the 999 of Briggs just gassed it way too early there off of turn 2, and luckily these guys were able to save it.
Yeah, it looks like the bully got a little excited out there, got in the gas early. He might have got pushed around, and the bully's not used to getting pushed around. But when the
trouble! That's the 32. Matthew Bear spins 360, keeps him straight. We stay green.
All right, Sheep Boner's back on a mission to get back on the lead lap here. Looks like he's going to get it straightened out.
Oh, maybe not. Close call there. I would like to go back and take a look at the replay real quick and see how he just spun there off of turn number 4. And yeah, he just got loose himself, and then Burrow just with the assist there. So yeah, that is all the 32 there. That's a tough break for Matthew Bear.
Very tough break for the Sheep Boner. I think he'll recover though. He's kind of gotten used to going a lap down here in the first couple races of the season. He knows how to climb his way back. Looks like we got Clueless on pit road. I don't know if Clueless is out of fuel. I don't know if Clueless just doesn't know we're racing right now, but Clueless is on pit road. And he's running the 17 this weekend. He was in the 24 last weekend. I don't know if he just didn't remember what his number was, but he really cost D4 a couple points in their championship hunt for the team championship. So as he's putting 4 tires on here, going multiple laps down, we'll have to wait and see if Clueless can get things turned around, heading in the right direction.
So Leto is pitting out, by the way, and that number 17. Keep in mind there is an 18% fuel cap for today's race. I'm not sure if that plays a big gap in anything with the possibility of green flag pit stops. Going back to the race leader, though, Chase Johnson's got a great lead, almost 2 seconds up on Tyler Jalbert. You see J.B. Swartz was able to take third away there from Shane Briggs. Then round out the top 5 is the 05 of John Friley. Then you've got 6th spot is Jeff Edgar. 7th is the number 8 of Mickey Kulicki. And in a nice battle there with Nick Mumley for that spot for 7th. And then in the 9th position is Sean Patrick. And then Ed Burrow rounding out the top 10 at the moment. That would be the final payout spot. Now, the payouts could possibly change. And yes, we are hearing pit stops are happening. Chase Johnson is signaling Turpin that he is coming on in. And same with Jalbert. And they come in to a very slow speed of about 35 miles an hour.
Oh, it's going to be interesting to see if these guys can get on and off pit road, and if they're going to take 4 tires, if they're going to short fill it. It's going to be interesting to see. There's definitely some ways to get yourself towards the front out here. I'm following in here with the top 10, like you just mentioned, everybody, and I'm following along here with Ed the Barista Burrell, currently running 8th, making his way up through some pit strategy here. He's turning that motor about, he's coming in pit lane. I was about to say, he's turning that motor about 7,000 RPM on the straightaway. I was thinking he's going to have to be out of fuel here pretty soon. As he comes on the pit lane, coming out about the 8th position, he's probably going to need a big tank of gas to get that thing filled up. It may not work out too well for him.
JB Smooth, by the way, has stayed out. Same with John Friley. They're the only 2 amongst the lead lap that have not come in yet. Now we're hearing Shane Briggs is coming in the 999 machine. So this is interesting here. I think the teammates at Big Block Motorsport / Twisted Chassis combined, I think their plan right now, fresher tires over track position.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting here. I'm riding along with John Old Reliable Friley. As he pulls off here, it looks like he's running down pretty low on gas. He's really taking a very safe approach to pit lane. I mean, I could have fell asleep as he was coming down the pit lane, but that's Old Reliable for you. He's bringing it in here. He might almost be out of gas, the speed he's coming into pit lane. They give you a pit speed limit, but I think he's took about 10 mile an hour off that thing, and he's just making sure he's going to actually make it there. So
now we're hearing JB Smooth is coming on in this time. Now this will be interesting to see where he rounds up after pit stops, because keep in mind he's going longer than Chase Johnson, and the gap between first and second is just about a lap or 2 as we speak, as JB Smooth brings it on down pit road. Pit stops, remember, in street stocks are very long for tires, and then obviously you want to make sure you fill up that gas tank to the end.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, caution! We got a yellow. And it's with the 22 of Sean Patrick. That is in turn 3. Keeps it straight. Also involved is Justin Terpstra in the 25. JB Smooth just came down pit road. He's going to fall back to 3rd here. I don't think that's what he wants. He is going to be back to 3rd. Chase Johnson, I believe, will end up as the race leader.
All right, I want to pull up the replay here and take a look at what happened to Danica. Looks like Danica just got pit maneuvered. I mean, this guy driving the 25 Terpster, he's not a Turpin by no means. He just absolutely turned him. He might as well let Pud drive that car, because Pud could have done it better. So, tough night for Danica here. He's gonna have to get his stuff repaired. Hope there's not too much damage. It's always a big guessing game when you come down pit lane to find out how much damage you really have. I've had cars that drive really good, come down, you got 30 minutes. I've got cars that the front end's all bent up, you got 1 minute. It's going to be interesting to see here what Danica's got. He could have maybe given the clown some more room, but at the end of the day, he's a Terpster, not a Turpin.
Yeah, you know, at first you would think that would go on Patrick, but if you look closely from the blimp, that Terpster turned left just slightly to get that 22 hooked and around, and Terpster took him out as well. Man, a few drivers did a nice job in missing that wreck, like Matthew Bear in the 32.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting scenario now, as we got 5 cars on the lead lap. We got Potty Train, we got JB Smooth, we got the Weapon, the Bully, and the Chassis Tuna. So we got 5 guys that are going to battle it out here. I don't know if the Helmet and Old Reliable and the Sheep Boner is going to get a wave here, but I did notice that when Old Reliable came down, he was out of gas. That car shut off. He probably took a nap, didn't realize his engine was running. He's an old timer, you know, he probably fell asleep at the wheel, but he got woke back up and he got that thing out there, only lost 1 lap, running with the Helmet here. Looks like we are getting waves. Looks like we're going to get waves for...
Oh, hang on a second. Ed Burrell just got rear-ended there by Nick Mumley. Remember, XCal rules, it's 3 wave rounds, and then plus drivers that, if you're the first 3 cars a lap down, you'll get waved, and then also includes the cars that are in front of the leader, but are behind the pace car. So we are extending the yellow. This will be a delayed green. That yellow, that caution, by the way, you know, when you think of it, I know JB Swartz wasn't in the lead at the time of caution, but at the same time, this kind of helps him because he picked up 1 spot, but that second spot, not really where you want to be here, Turpin, when we go back to green.
No, he's going to be chasing down Potty Train, and Potty Train's been running good all night. I saw him out last night turning some laps early for this event, and he was down in the 2s, and he's going to be a tough customer. It looks like Old Reliable, Sheep Boner, and the Helmet are all getting waves here, so we're going to have 8 cars on the lead lap as they start to file up 2 by 2, getting ready to possibly go green flag next time by.
We are back to green. We are back to green, by the way. Here comes Jalbert inside on Chase Johnson for the lead in turn number 3. What a restart from Tyler Jalbert from 3rd to 1st. You've got a new leader at SNMP. It is the 04 of Tyler, the Weapon, Jalbert. Now how does Chase Johnson fight back off at turn 2? Does he consider the bump and run in turn 3? He tries to take a peek, but Jalbert shuts the door. There's the bumper, moves Jalbert up the track. Here comes Johnson to the bottom for the race lead as we come to 31 laps to go.
Yeah, with 31 laps to go, the Potty Train man is starting to give it to the Weapon. The Weapon has no way of holding off the Potty Train man, as it looks like JB Smooth is going to take a look here. He's building up a run, and now if JB Smooth's smart about it, which I know he's going to take his time. He's going to let Jalbert get frustrated, and Jalbert's probably going to send it in here on Chase. I'm going to give it about 2 to 3 laps. Jalbert's going to start to build up a little frustration. He had that lead. He thought he was going to pull away with it. And now he's going to have to look not only in his rear view at Johnny Swartz, but also think about how he's going to put a move on Chase. And putting a move on somebody here is not easy. I think he's going to have to be the Weapon.
Real quick, something I want to mention about JB Smooth. 2 things. First off, keep in mind, remember, he's got the freshest tires of the bunch. The last one to pit. But at the same time, there is a con. Look at the brake rotors out of that 01. They are glowing. He's probably the only one with glowing brake rotors. You see Johnson's got the brake rotors glowing. I don't see Jalbert's brake rotors. And they're glowing, but not just as much as the guys in 1st and 3rd. So I have a feeling that JB Smooth is using up more of his tires by going heavily on the brakes. Shane Briggs, by the way, in 4th position, just caught a lucky brake, Turpin, because when we went back to green, he changed lanes before he officially took the restart. I think race control just gave him a lucky break there, but that was close from Shane Briggs.
Well, he is the bully after all, and, you know, one race wonder. He probably doesn't want to get in a fight with the bully, so he's probably going to let the bully slide with this one. But the bully's fixing to put it on JB Smooth here, and JB Smooth's hanging with Jalbert, and he talked about the brake rotors here, and Jalbert is notorious for running a loose race car. He's one of the guys that likes to run it a little free. He'll often run probably a lot more rear brake than most. And when you dial that rear brake back, you distribute the brake pressure across all 4 tires. And that's probably what you're seeing here. The brakes don't fade on these speeders like you would maybe think, though. So JB Smooth and Chase, they're probably just driving it in hard, knowing they've got the tire right now.
Oh!
He thought about it. He thought about it.
I was looking from the nose camera. Let's take a look on board from the front bumper, the nose of Tyler Jalbert. He's thinking about putting that chrome horn on your race leader, Chase Johnson. but he's thinking, do I want to do it now or do I want to wait? Well, coming to the line, it is 20 laps to go here at Southern National Motorsports Park. This track is notable for bump and runs. It's pretty easy to get underneath someone and just move them up the track. And remember, that high side, it's got no grip at all. It's got a bunch of marbles on it.
Yeah, the weapon's really looking to give it to him here. He's thinking about it. He got right up to that bumper. He got almost underneath him. He may even try to just lift the rear tires a little bit, move him up out of the way, and drive on by. The problem here is going to be is he's got to put a gap between himself and the potty train man, because you never know when the sender's going to send it on in there after you get by him. So he's going to have to build up a run here. He's worked on it for the last couple of laps, but he's starting to fall off a little bit here, Big D.
Yep. Yeah, and the fresher tires may be coming to JB Smooth right now. He's up there with Jobber for second. That could help Johnson pull away by about a few car lengths. Now Shane Briggs up in this battle as well.
And JB Smooth's making a move. JB Smooth just sliding on by. He gets into the door going into 4 as he comes out. Looks like they're going to be side by side going into turn 1. JB Smooth is going to make the pass. And
clear down. JB Smooth on fresher tires to the runner-up spot, and now Briggs puts the bumper on Tyler Jalbert. Jalbert's in trouble right now because JB Smooth, remember, fresher tires, could be pulling away from the weapon right now, but the weapon may still have a few bullets left in him.
You never know, but the bully's putting the pressure on. It looks like the bully is hanging in there with these guys. He may have something for him towards the end. What do we got here to go? 13 to go?
Gonna be 13 at the line.
Looks like JB Smooth is just lining himself up for a nice slippery smooth into victory lane with the Lizards.
He's closing in. Last time by for the laps, JB Smooth was about a tenth slower. Yeah, no, 2 tenths faster than Chase Johnson. Johnson's got the fastest lap by about a tenth over JB Smooth, but Schwartz is closing in. Don't step away from this video. It's gonna be a good finish. That time, about a half tenth faster was JB Smooth. Thought about going to the bottom, but Johnson with the better entry in the arc. Gonna be 11 to go at the line. 4 cars have a chance to possibly win it if it goes green to the end.
Looks like JB Smooth is just lining up what he wants to do here. He took a look to the outside, tried dominating the corner off, coming out of 2. Clipped the apron just a little bit much, got loose. Looks like he's going to start the line 1 up here as he knows what he needs to do. He knows he's got to enter a little high going into 1, diamond it off, get the drive off at 2, and get under him going into 3. Lap traffic may play a factor here. Looks like Clueless is coming to pit lane. We got
Jeremy Letto. And now that's Hendren.
Yeah,
Hendren, remember, Hendren's 3 laps down. Almost took out Chase Johnson. Tyler Jalbert's got to check up. Same with Briggs. Remember, Hendren's 3 laps down, so he has to let the leaders go by.
It looks like JB Smooth is just lining 1 up here. It's coming. He's just got to figure out when he's going to pull the trigger. And he's just got to hope the weapon doesn't pull the trigger on him before that time comes. So as we come here, looks like we're going to have 6 to go at the line. 7 to go at the line. Looks like JB Smooth has just got to figure out what he's going to do with the potty train man.
It's going to be a good finish here at SNMP. Your top 4, Johnson, Schwartz, Jalbert, Briggs, all have a chance to win it. 6 to go at the line. Next time by, if they cross the line green, we'll be going green to the end regardless of the wrecks. Johnson's got a good exit there off of turn 2. Go ahead, Turpin.
Who would have thought in the Lot Lizard 100 we would go green a majority of the time here as JB Smooth is starting to close back in. Big D.
Absolutely. Looks like Johnson had a better last lap that time. The difference that time was about 1/100th of a second. So they were just about identical. We'll take a look this time with 4 laps to go. Schwartz is there. Now the question is, there's 2 questions. When does he want to pull the bump and run in number 2? Will lap traffic determine who wins this race? We got 3 drivers. JB Smooth tried to look to the inside. That did not work out that time. Coming this time to the line, it's 3 laps to go. Johnson with a beautiful exit compared to Schwartz.
JB Smooth might have missed his opportunity here. He's getting under attack from the weapon. Chase Potty Train Johnson is starting to pull away. He's got 2 laps to go. Looks like he might be able to hang on to this one, given he makes no mistakes like at North Wilkesboro.
Popsicle sticks are up in the air. Chase Johnson's got about a car length to the half of the lead over Jonathan Swartz. That is Todd Shaw the leaders are catching up to. This time by the doctor's jacket goes up in the air. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go from Southern National. Oh man, Schwartz is there. It's not over yet. When does he want to pull the chrome horn? Off of turn 2. There goes Schwartz all the way to the bottom. Johnson tries to block. He blocks beautifully, but Schwartz sets it in. Not gonna be enough. Chase Johnson wins it at Southern National Motorsports Park.
What a finish, what a finish. I thought JB Smooth was really going to give him the chrome horn there, but JB Smooth, like always, an excellent driver, likes to play fair. The weapon tried to sneak in there and make some action happen, but congratulations to Jace potty-trained Johnson for putting that thing in victory lane, winning the Lot Lizard 100 as he starts to burn them down.
Chase Johnson gets to do the donuts. Big win for Chase and Johnson tonight. From Dive Bomb Racing comes in with a Class B 2.31 rating, a 1946 I rating. 5th in XCal points coming in. Remember, 1 at USA, incident-free for him. And this is a strong win for him as Tyler Jalbert's doing some unnecessary donuts as well. I guess you're right, Turpin. I can understand. Oh man, yeah, Turpin, I can see why. I can see why.
Derby early. You know how he
Yeah, absolutely. But a big win for Chase Johnson. Let's see if we can talk with him. Let me do this. I need the top 3 drivers in Blake in the booth. Let's see if we can see. Chase Johnson, are you in the booth yet? I need the top 3 in the booth yet.
Payout.
Please.
Real quick, Jalbert, who do you want to thank for this run?
Yeah.
I'm going to thank all the guys that helped got me this hot rod, Kenny Tripp. I didn't really have a setup until he got in here. But Main Mobile Truck Service, Ecolab, UNOH, all the guys that watch. My dad watches every race I do. Overall, everyone. Thank you.
All right, great run, Jalbert. Let's see here. Chase and Schwartz. You guys in here yet?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll go to your race winner, Chase Johnson. Congratulations on the win. Take us through that final lap. You really had to fight off Jonathan Schwartz, who was also on fresher tires there at the end.
Yeah, like you said, he had like 10 lap pressure tires than I did. Definitely comes to advantage at places like here. But JB Smooth, he's a really clean racer. He produced some pretty good bump and runs, but I was just able to hold him off and get the win.
What do you want to thank for this big performance? That's my first of 2 more questions for you. Who do you want to thank?
My team, Dive Bomb Racing, Kendrick Pryor, Derek Olson, my mom, my dad. I just couldn't do without them, and Luke Turpin for giving me that nickname.
And one more thing, how much will this help you out in advance of next week's XCal event at Southern National?
It'll help a lot. I mean, I just showed how much 10-lap pressure tires could do. I mean, I felt like I had everybody pretty beat on long run, but it helps if they get fresher tires, definitely. And it really helped. I know what adjustments I can do to make it better on long runs too, so I'm pretty confident.
All right, I think Turpin had one more question. Sounds like you're in chat.
Hey, Potty Train, you got me down there?
Yes, sir, I do.
How's it feel, bud? Coming off of a win at USA, now coming off of a win this week, coming off of that disaster
that was Wilkesboro. What do you think your future lies ahead for the rest of the season?
A lot more wins and a top 5 spot in the championship points.
My man, have a good night.
You too.
All right, let's check and see is
JB smooth in booth or is he gone?
All right, I think he is gone. Getting no response. So let's give you your official results from tonight. Obviously, Chase Johnson with the win. Margin of victory, .193 over Jonathan Swartz, who comes home in second. Tyler Jalbert third. Shane Briggs fourth. Kenny Tripp fifth. Jeff Edgar sixth. John Friley seventh. Nick Mumley eighth. Ed Burrow ninth. Todd Shaw rounds out the top 10. Heather Patrick 11th. Jeremy Leto 12th. Art Hendren 13th. Mickey Kalicki is in 14th. Matthew Bear 15th. Justin Terpstra 16th. Jake White-Rao 17th. John Brancaccio finishes in 18th. 6 drivers finished on the lead lap. So, Turpin, I'll bring you back in. Oh, man, what a battle to the end that was by Johnson, Schwartz, Jalbert, and Briggs.
That was a great race. And at the end of the day, I know we got to talk to Potty Train. I know we got to talk to the weapon. You know, Potty Train's age, and we know the weapon's probably a 12-pack deep right now. The reason we didn't get to talk to JB Smooth is he's down there in the pit with the lizards having a good time. You know that for a fact. So I just want to throw a big shout out there to all the lovely ladies that were watching this race, superman@gmail.com. And, you know, just big thanks to the whole team that put this race on. Big D in the booth. We got Gangless Khan on the Ganglecast. We had Blake, One Race Wonder, win with the administrative, and nobody got screwed at this race. What a job. What a job from the One Race Wonder. And then finally, the chassis tuna himself, Jeff Edgar, putting in the work all the time to have good race cars and obviously great events as well. Why don't you hit him, Big D, with the sponsors, and we'll send this one off tonight.
Absolutely. Definitely want to thank our sponsors indeed. Tri Inc., Sullivan Motorsports, John Friley Motorsports, and Marty. So Chase Johnson is going to enjoy a nice payout. Keep in mind about an $85 to $90 purse thanks to the sponsors from tonight. So yeah, we will call it a night on our broadcast of our Saturday night special. On behalf of everyone, Jeff Edgar, the creator, Alex Gangler, our producer and broadcaster for tonight, Blake Wynn on race control. Now on behalf of my broadcast partner, Luke Turpin, I'm Marty Sakala signing off, and we congratulate Chase and Johnson with the win tonight at Southern National.